There is a specific kind of silence that surrounds a man who has stopped leaking his life force into the digital void. It is the silence of a soldier who has finally returned from a war against his own impulses and found that he is the only survivor of his old, broken self. You look into the mirror, and you no longer see a fragmented collection of desires and fears staring back at you. Instead, you see a singular, hardened monolith of intent that refuses to be chipped away by the trivialities of the modern world or the whispers of 1,000 shallow, passing, and very empty digital distractions. The world treats a fragmented man like a piece of debris, pushing him wherever the current of popular opinion or basic instinct happens to flow. But the retained man is the current itself, a focused stream of energy that carves its own path through the hard rock of a stagnant, dying, modern civilization. The hook is the terrifying moment you realize that because you no longer need anyone to satisfy your most basic urge, you have become functionally unstoppable in every other arena of life. You are a ghost in the machine, a man who is unplugged from the grid of biological and social dependency. Becoming a one-man army is not about picking a fight with the world, but about making the world realize it cannot win a fight against you. Your aura acts as a kinetic shield, absorbing the kinetic energy of criticism and transforming it into the fuel for your next great, disciplined, and massive achievement. This aura is built on the foundation of internal pressure, a pressure that comes from holding back the very lightning that creates new life. When you refuse to release that lightning, it begins to circulate through your nervous system, turning your body into a high-voltage conductor of raw, focused, and lethal human willpower. You walk with a weight that suggests you are carrying the history of your ancestors in your very stride, in your deep, calm breath. People around you will feel a sudden, inexplicable urge to clear a path, sensing that you are a man on a mission that transcends the petty concerns of others. The one-man army does not seek recruits because his own internal ranks are finally in total, absolute, and perfect alignment for the first time. Your mind, your body, and your spirit are no longer bickering over crumbs of pleasure. They are marching in lockstep toward a singular, glorious, and distant golden horizon. Social anxiety dissolves in the heat of this internal fire, replaced by a cold, tactical observation of the environment and the people within it. You are no longer wondering if people like you. You are assessing whether they are worthy of being in the presence of the man you have become. Manipulation tactics fall flat against the iron walls of your attention, for you have already conquered the internal traitor that used to open the gates. A man who has looked his own lust in the eye and forced it to blink is a man who cannot be intimidated by any earthly power. There is a magnetism in your stillness that draws opportunities toward you like shrapnel to a powerful, humming electromagnet in a darkened, silent room. You don't have to chase success because you have become the high-value destination that success is desperately searching for in a world of exhausted, depleted, and hollow men. The energy you project is dense and heavy, making your physical presence feel much larger than your actual dimensions would ever suggest to the eye. You occupy space with a quiet authority that suggests you own the ground you stand upon, a king who has reclaimed his stolen, ancient, and rightful throne. In moments of crisis, your attention aura acts as a stabilizing force, a calm center that others will naturally gravitate toward when their worlds begin to crumble. You are the rock in the surf, the one entity that remains unmoved while the storm of circumstance howls and rages all around you. The one-man army mentality means that you are your own provider, your own protector, and your own highest source of inspiration and deep, soulful motivation. You have removed the middleman of external validation, creating a closed-loop system of power that generates its own infinite, clean, and very potent spiritual electricity. Your eyes develop a predatory stillness, a gaze that doesn't dart or wander, but stays fixed on the objective with a terrifying, unblinking, and total intensity. This is the look of a man who knows exactly what he wants, and exactly what he is willing to sacrifice to finally achieve his ultimate goal. The hormones coursing through your veins are the chemical equivalent of a standing army, ready to defend your boundaries at a moment's notice without hesitation. You radiate a subtle threat that is actually a promise of protection for the innocent and a warning of swift destruction for the truly wicked. This state of being is lonely, for few men are willing to pay the high price of admission to this level of sovereign masculine power. You will find yourself standing on a mountain peak, looking down at the clouds, realizing that the air up here is thin, cold, and incredibly, beautifully, and dangerously pure. The suspense of your life becomes the constant question of how much more pressure your soul can contain before it explodes into a new reality. Every day of retention is another pound of pressure, another step toward a transformation that will eventually leave your old life in a pile of gray, cold ashes. You begin to see through the illusions of the world, recognizing the traps that are set for those who are still seeking a quick, easy, and hollow release. Your discipline is the lens that brings the hidden truth into sharp focus, allowing you to navigate the labyrinth of life with a map. Women sense this army within you and are drawn to the safety of your strength, yet they are also wary of the fire that burns there. They realize that you are a man who cannot be tamed or owned, for you already belong to a mission that is far greater than romance. The emotional weight of this path is found in the realization that you are the only one who can truly save yourself from the darkness. There is no rescue party coming. You are the rescue party, and you have arrived just in time to reclaim the wreckage of your own potentially great, legendary, and noble life. You will have moments where the power feels like it might tear you apart, a vibration in your soul that is almost too much to bear. In these moments, you must breathe and remember that you are being forged into a weapon of light, a tool for the universe to use in its work. The suspense grows as you realize that your old friends and family no longer recognize the man you have become through this intense silent struggle. You are a stranger in your own house, a traveler from a distant land of discipline, who speaks a language of power they can no longer understand or even hear. But the peace that follows the struggle is the most profound emotion you will ever experience in this short, flickering, and very precious human existence. It is the peace of knowing that you are finally, for the first time, a complete and total unit, a man who is truly his own formidable army. The aura you carry is not a decoration. It is a duty to be strong for those who cannot be strong for themselves in this dark. You are the guardian of the threshold, the man who stands at the gate and says, "No further," to the encroaching chaos of the modern, fragmented, and dying world. As you reach the end of this specific chapter of your journey, the emotional intensity will peak in a silent, tearful realization of your own massive worth. You are no longer a beggar for life. You are a giver of life, a fountain of energy in a desert of parched, exhausted, and very thirsty souls. The suspense ends not with a bang, but with a deep, subsonic hum of readiness that vibrates through every single cell of your new, retained body. You are standing on the edge of the unknown, prepared for a battle that has not yet begun, but one you have already won internally. The one-man army is ready, his aura a shimmering field of gold and iron that reflects the light of a sun that will never, ever set. You have become the legend you used to read about, a living myth walking through the mundane streets of a world that is finally, slowly waking up. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Real wisdom deserves real energy. Drop a thanks to fuel the next level. Do not let the flame flicker, and do not let the army retreat into the shadows of your past, for the world is watching your every move. You are the architect of your own destiny, and the blueprints are written in the very life force you have chosen to protect with your very soul. The journey concludes in a place of total, absolute sovereignty, where you are the king, the soldier, and the kingdom all at once in the dark. You are the one-man army, and the victory you have achieved over yourself is the only victory that will ever truly matter in this life or the next.